Okay, here we have the toilet. We flipped it upside down so we can put the wax ring here on the base, the outlet flange. And the wax ring is exactly what it said. It is a gooey, soft wax ring. So you got to be very careful with it. You don't want to break it. You don't want to mush it. Just carefully unwrap it. And it is just flip it upside down around the flange. Press it on a little bit to stick it. And be sure and remove the plastic before you seat it. Okay, wax ring installed. Now we're ready to flip it over onto the flange. As you can see, I've already put in the closet bolts here into the flange. So we're going to have to carefully guide the toilet over the bolts in the hole. And it's not sliding back and forth or side to side, so it must be seated into the flange. So now all we have to do is put on the plastic, the metal, and the nuts. Okay, you've got the toilet bolted down. Make sure when you're bolting it down you don't over tighten it because you can crack the porcelain if you do, or you could wind up ripping the bolts right through the flange. It's nice and sturdy.
Also make sure it's level.
Yes, make sure it's level. Set this on here and you adjust each bolt, whichever one needs to be adjusted, until it's level or pretty damn close to it.
It may be possible you might have to double up your wax ring if you've had some improvements done on your original flooring.
Yes.
You never know, but I think we're good in this case. But to test that theory, we've got a bucket of water, and we're going to pour it in so that the toilet basically flushes, and hopefully we don't have to use the wet vac to suck all the water.
Got the wet vac, the shop vac on standby in case our wax ring isn't sealed properly. But here we go.
Always good to test it first before you put everything together. Yeah, pour it in really good and fast so we can tell for sure.
Basically just flushed. Okay, so we've flushed the toilet, and now I'm gonna check around the base and see if there are any leaks.
Now that was 5 gallons, which is nowhere near what this is going to flush, but you want to make sure that you're good and secure and there's no water coming out anywhere.
I don't feel any water around the base. I think we're good to go.
Alright.
So now we're going to install the tank and then the seat and hook it up and we'll be done. So we have the tank prepped right here with the foam gasket and the brass bolts. And we're going to just slide it on to the bowl now.
Uh-oh.
No, uh-oh. It fit perfectly. Bolts are through. Where are the... We have wing nut and washer to go underneath. Secure this down into the bowl.
Oh, like a prison escapee, James is filing away at the bolt heads so that we can put the little caps on to hide them. Now, after we do that, we're going to reattach the water supply, turn the water back on, make sure everything is good and no leaks happen. We've got to put the topper on with the flush buttons, since it's a 2-valve system, and then we're going to attach the seat, and then this pisser is ready for some pissing. Okay, so we've got the water reconnected now. The lid is on, or the seat is on.
It is full.
We had to use the Teflon tape around the connection to make sure there's no leaks, so don't forget that. That's one thing that's easy to overlook, and it might be easier if you do it before you attach the toilet to the wall.
You mean the tank?
Right. So we've attached our flushing mechanism button, which as you can see is right here. 2 plungers that do their job. The blue button is for liquid and the large silver is for solid. So let's give it a try. So even after flushing and testing for like 5 minutes, we probably still haven't used as much water as we used with 1 flush of our old toilet, which is pretty sad.
What do you think, Zany? It's Xander approved. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to test it out.